Hey there, Coach Baker. Really excited that you were able to come on here and spend a few minutes chatting with us. You've been an S2A member for a couple of years now, and we just wanted to kind of get some members' feedback on sort of what your thoughts are on S2A and kind of why you came aboard and whatnot. So, a couple questions for you. Number one, why did you decide to join Surface to Air, and what problems were you facing that sort of kind of got you to take the plunge and join the group, so to speak?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Well, part of it was I joined because I got to know you a little bit, knew what you were all about, seen a lot of your videos and everything. Um, I think as a young offensive coordinator throughout the years, I always had different bits and pieces of offense, and was kind of struggling to find the identity of what I wanted to hang my hat on, and that's definitely what S2A really helped with, and being able to sit down with you and really almost have you like a mentor, so to speak, and really hammer things out and go through things.
Yeah, what are you going to hang your hat on thing is a big part of being an OC that I don't think people always think about. Even as you get a few years into your career and calling plays, I think every year I do that every spring. We'll start spring ball here in a few days, and it's what are we going to hang our hat on this year, right? You've always got to kind of have that question, and I think there's certain things that you're always going to do, and then I think there's things that you play back and forth with. Did you have any objections that kind of held you back from joining for a while, or was there any concerns that you had about initially joining? Was there any worries you had?
I think I really didn't have many. The only one I had was, anytime you look to join something new, like we were a couple schools ago I was at, we were part of the end zone system, and that was really good. And so the initial thought you have is, how similar is it being a spread offense? But, instantly of joining, any of those worries kind of went out the window just for how in depth everything is. And the personal touch is probably the best part, especially with all the different services and sites that you can get film, but to actually have the one-on-one, that's probably the biggest part.
Yeah, yeah. So, and you've kind of already elaborated on this, but what would you say are kind of the top things that Surface Stairs helped you with? You talked about that personal touch, that one-on-one. Maybe elaborate on that a little bit, and some other things that you kind of have liked about it.
Probably the number one thing that I learned is when we talked about what do I teach well, what do I not teach well, what do I need to improve on to help us win, and then what do I just need to eliminate. That's probably been the number one thing this off season. I've been able to share that with a couple other people, like, hey, what's your thought process? The pin pull and buck sweep, kind of marrying those things together, and really helping cutting down like our offensive package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. If somebody was on the fence and they called you and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about joining S2A, and I know you're a member. Tell me, would you do it? And why would you tell them to do it? Just kind of a generic coach called you and asked that."
Well, I would say do it, because if you're thinking about it, you want to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I go ahead and pull the trigger. I mean, at worst, you're going to learn a few things, and then you get the community is great. The with the what's the telegram, my goodness, there's too much football. I can't keep up with all of this stuff on
Yeah.
there. Yeah, it's just an endless amounts of resource. I still haven't gone through everything on the site. There's just so much, which is a good thing. But you can definitely pick and choose what you want to really like major your study in.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, we're a renewal service based upon the experiences you've had. Do you assume you're going to be a renewal guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great, coach. That's like I said, we just wanted to kind of give people a little bit of a little bit of a personal perspective on sort of what the surface to air system is and what are some of the benefits. And so really appreciate it and wish you best of luck this fall.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me.